Hello, party people, and welcome to another episode of Cast Party, the official podcast of Shea's Performing Arts Center. My name is Rita Sirianni, and with me today I have my co-party hosts in this corner, Juliana Tracy.
Ooh, hello.
And in this corner, Kenny Lazuski.
Hello, everybody. I just got done from going in the bubble.
You were in the bubble?
No, I wish, though. The media people got to go in the bubble yesterday.
And you're jealous?
I am. It's the only thing I was looking forward to.
I'm insanely jealous, actually.
And then I wanted to sit on the dragon.
That would have been impossible.
Probably.
Very cool.
Very cool, though. Yes.
We had a pretty cool week with Wicked. We got to do a little media load-in day with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice work, us. They let us on stage for all of 2 minutes before they told us to please evacuate.
And we saw the company manager out.
Yes, we did.
At 42 next door.
Well, we got to talk to him about his rapid-fire questions.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Hopefully we'll see soon.
Yeah,
and,
shout out to Steve Quinn.
It couldn't have gone that bad because he talked to us there that night. So if he didn't want to talk to us, he wouldn't have.
I think he liked us. I think he liked our energy.
I think so, too.
We weren't as academic as the young journalist, but
they were sharp.
They put us to shame, and I'm proud that we have those kinds of students in Western New York. So
Yeah, they were excited.
But anyway, we have a lot of very cool stuff going on at Shea's, and it's the holiday season. And one thing that we're very proud of at Shea's is that it literally takes a village, and we have a countless amount of volunteers. Our ushers, our amazing team of volunteers. Shout out to Eileen Sirianni. We have our Spotlight Committee, which is our fundraising group, which is headed by our board member, Sue Staple. Shout out to Sue Staple. She has her witch's hat on for Wicked right now.
Say hi to her.
And we have kind of a newer vein, and that is our Shea's Young Professional Group. And they are rocking out a project during Wicked that we'd love for them to share a little bit about. So today, our behind the curtain guest is Shea's Young Professional, Kacy Carbone. Welcome, Kacy.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Isn't it good to see me?
I say that every day when I come to the office. Nobody says anything. Nobody ever says anything.
Had to throw that in there. Another little, as Galinda would say, I have so much gratitude for being here, so thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes, Kacy, we are obsessulated with you being here today. Thank you so much. I am kind of a staff liaison with the Shea's Young Professionals. I show up and I go and I see what emails I can send. But you are a true member of the group, and I was hoping you could kind of share with the folks at home a little bit about the Shea's Young Professionals and what y'all are doing here with us.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Shea's Young Professionals is just a group of young professionals, so that's pretty explanatory. But just a group of young professionals that love Shea's and love their mission and their vision for our community. And we are all just willing to put our individual unique skill sets towards fundraising and just generally furthering Shea's goals, not only for fundraising, but also just for community engagement and connecting with our neighbors and connecting, with all ages, but especially our young people and the future of our community and our theater connections here in the Western New York theater community as well.
Yeah, that's really well said, Kacy. All right, is this your first year being a young professional, or?
It is. It's crazy because it's technically not really even been like a full year, it feels like, because we just started, I think our first meeting was, June or July, right?
I think you're right.
So it feels like very new, but at the same time, we've really just gotten the ball rolling. And we do have somewhat of an ambitious calendar, which I'm really excited about. And I'm just curious to see what we can get accomplished. It is a relatively very new group in general.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, this particular group this year is mostly all new people. So it's really exciting just to kind of see what all of the new ideas are, but also there's a lot of really successful events that the Shea's Young Professionals have had in previous years that we want to continue and grow from where they were at. So I think this is going to be a really exciting year just because there's so much newness and there's so many new people and fresh blood and new ideas and different skill sets being added to the mix. And I'm really excited to be a part of that. Sure. And I can't wait to see where we're at now versus where we'll be at next year. And then hopefully we'll get even more new people people as well. So
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Kacy, like I gotta say, like as a new member, you are a wonderful ambassador. Very well
Good
said.
energy, articulated everything really well.
Yeah.
So, like, what are some of those events that you guys have run in the... Was the spin thing was that a young professional?
Yeah, so
I remember that event. My
I can let
sister
you
went
chat.
to one of them.
Yeah, we've done spin on stage.
yeah, yoga was a
I
big
forget. My
one.
sister went to one of them, yeah.
That is definitely one that we are hoping to bring back as well. I think one of the big things, one of our big focuses is, yes, obviously Shea's is a theater. It's an arts organization, right? But we also want to connect with the community outside of just the arts. We want to go beyond theater. So things might be theater themed. And of course, that's like the core of what Shea's is. But we also want to connect with people on a community level and with different types of things like yoga, for example. Yeah. So the fact that, and I think what I heard a lot of the feedback from our community members that participated in things like yoga or like the spin class is that people have so much fun being able to connect to their favorite arts organization in a way that's not necessarily just arts or just theater. Sure. And so that is definitely something that we're rolling with, and we have a lot of new ideas to keep expanding that as well. So there might be theater themes or things that are themed within Shea's and the Shea's brand and their vision. But we also want to bring in aspects that are just community and just different things as well that we can just enjoy doing together. Something else that I would like to mention with the Shea's Young Professionals is that obviously my arts background is very strong. That's kind of what I do full time. I'm a voice teacher. I've worked in community engagement in the arts, but not everyone. I would almost say most of our group is not necessarily like their profession is not in the arts. So we have lawyers, we have a chemical engineer, we have someone who works in AI. Like we just have so many different types of professionals in the group that it's not just artists. And a lot of them are just people who love Shea's, who enjoy the arts and appreciate the arts, but they also have lots of other skill sets and other professions that they do. So, we're bringing, like I said, lots of other types of experiences other than just arts or just theater.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So if you're someone at home right now and you're like, I want to volunteer, but I'm not sure how, definitely feel like you can explore outside of maybe your realm or your lane and come into the theater lane with us.
Kacy, Juliana has told me anybody can sing.
I believe that.
And she won't give me singing voice lessons. Can you give me voice lessons? I got cut from the play in 6th grade, or the musical. I got cut from Lion King in 2nd grade. So I'm scarred.
That made me so happy that you just said that, because I and people ask me that a lot. And I think it also comes up a lot of times it comes up oh, your student is so talented. Or even when I perform, so many people have told me, you're so talented. How do you just do that? Yeah. And the answer is you don't just do anything. And even my students, yes, of course, they all come with, everyone has talents, right? I so strongly believe every single human has talents and skill sets that are unique to them. But that doesn't mean, even if you have, let's say you have a gift where you have a beautiful singing voice without necessarily trying or without training, that doesn't mean that to actually become a great singer, the best singers that we know, maybe they have natural talent, maybe they don't, maybe they just trained and worked really hard. And what I've noticed as a voice teacher is that really, truly anyone can sing. I've had so many people with so many different ability levels, whether they are a really young student or an adult student who's looking to pursue a passion that they, maybe didn't feel like they could do, like you just said.
I feel like I can't.
Exactly, but there's so many people that, if you do the training and you put in the work and you understand how does sound production work and how does your voice work, that dedication factor will always outweigh just talent that maybe doesn't have the dedication. So that's something that I'm really super passionate about, and people ask me that all of the time. I've been a teacher for a little over 9 years. So next year will be my 10th year teaching. And yeah, I just absolutely 100% believe that's like one of my strongest opinions, that, yeah, absolutely anyone can sing, anyone can do anything in the arts, you know? And I think one of the things that I really enjoy so much about teaching is, yes, I've absolutely taught students who want to pursue music or want to pursue theater. You know, I've helped students apply and audition for theater programs or music education programs. And that's so much fun, don't get me wrong, but there are so many students who come just because they love to do it. Mm-hmm. And it's one of the ultimate forms of human expression, really, if you think about it. And it is so rewarding just to help people express themselves and to help people, and especially like we were just talking about adult students, like for an adult student who, you know, it's hard adulting, right? Like,
yeah, adulting sucks. My basement
exactly. Like crazy things happen. Like your basement floods, or like you have a really bad day at work, or you're really stressed, or bills, the economy, whatever. You know, it's just tough. And being able to just come to a place and take a half-hour voice lesson where you are just focused on something you enjoy, and there's no pressure, and it's just you expressing yourself and having just a good time. Like, that's amazing. And I think that that's so invaluable as well.
Well, I feel very affirmed now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, girl.
That.
Yeah, you won't teach me. I've asked for lessons.
Clearly, you need to set aside a half hour
and practice yourself.
Yeah, I do. You're right.
Actually, so Kacy, you kind of already spoke about your career as a teaching artist, but could you kind of talk a little bit more, about what you're doing out in the community and what your profession is like on a day-to-day and teaching artist and beyond?
Yeah, absolutely. So currently I am a voice teacher at Matt's Music, which is in North Tonawanda, and it is a family-owned business. And honestly, I hesitate to even say business because it's much more of a community.
Nice.
You know, they've been in North Tonawanda for over 60 years. So it's just like, and it's completely, so Matt obviously was the founder of the business, but his daughter Kathy has taken over the business, and her son Zach will eventually take over the business. And my best friend Katie, shout out to Katie, she's also involved in the business, and Matt is her grandfather and Kathy is her mom. And they've just created such a special place. So we have community engagement, like taking students to nursing homes, or,
nice.
You know, we've also provided music and entertainment for hospitals and stuff like that. So, you know, seeing students need performance opportunities, and there are at-need communities in our area and our neighbors that really enjoy things like that. So just kind of making those connections. They also have the Matt's Music Foundation, which is an absolute amazing addition that we've been trying to grow over the last few years, where it helps fund music therapy interventions, and also scholarships, student scholarships. So making sure that all students, no matter what their circumstances, we are doing as much as we can to make sure that they can also achieve music education. You know, obviously private lessons, you know, you're paying the teacher weekly for that private lesson. So making sure that that is accessible to students who otherwise wouldn't be able to access that is really important. And that's something that I have really found has been important to me over the years. Growing up, I played multiple instruments. I took singing lessons, and it can be, and instruments are expensive. Music education and arts education in general can be something that is very privileged, right? Yeah. And even looking at our music education and our arts education and our extracurriculars in our schools right now, you know, you see in education programs that tends to be one of the first things that get cut, right?
Good point.
So trying to create arts communities that are accessible and equitable so that anyone can participate in our arts communities. And if we think about art and what it is to our society and to people, art cannot exist unless we have community, unless we have culture. So I really strongly believe in creating equitable artistic spaces. My most recent position was at Cleveland Playhouse as a creative community builder, which my coworker kind of called me like an artsy social worker. So what I did in that program is created arts programming that helped combat ACEs, which is adverse childhood experiences, and using the arts as a bridge to help families and community members access resources. So one of the projects near and dear to my heart that we used to do was Every Brilliant Thing, which is a one-man play about suicide and mental health. And that was something that just was a full circle moment for me because I'm actually a suicide loss survivor. My father, that's how he passed away. So being able to use the arts, which is my passion, and then also be able to partner with, we partnered with mental health advocates of Western New York. We partnered with Spectrum Health. We partnered with the Erie County Office of Mental Health. So we had so many people, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, that came in. And it's not just a play at that point, right? We also offered it for free to people. So again, that's part of making it equitable. But then when people go and it opens up this beautiful opportunity for conversation, they at that show had resources that they could get in a really positive way. So something that might be really negative, like maybe someone is trying to find a resource when they're in like their darkest moment, right? Versus being in a community space that feels safe, that's equitable, and opening up conversation, and they are having positive conversations now with those organizations versus not knowing they exist and then trying to find them in like kind of a worse place.
I love what you're bringing up, Kacy, especially with, Every Brilliant Thing is a lovely example of a way to hold space with each other and talk about very difficult subjects that are a bit taboo sometimes, which, we're all working to undo. So thank you for sharing that. And the one thing that you really touched on that I really appreciate is conversation. I feel like that is why we do theater, is conversation, and I feel like when we choose what plays or musicals to do at certain points, it's because of what the conversation is or should be. So I think that's really well said and like a great thing to bring up. Also, shout out to Cleveland Playhouse, because Juliana and I love it over there.
It was such a great experience. Unfortunately, and this is something that I feel like is important to talk about with the conversation that we just had, we were funded through the Department of Education. We were one of 13 programs that had a grant. And unfortunately, we actually they have rescinded that. So I say formerly because this just happened back in September. So, and it's, I think, just it's important to bring up, I think, because we were just talking about equitable participation, right? And another huge part of the program, which I was also a part of, was the CARE program, which is the Compassionate Arts Remaking Education program, which is social emotional learning through theater education. And it's a completely trauma-informed program. And it had literacy aspects and all of those things as well. That type of programming really, really changed students and really helped students. So I think it's really important in this, and with everything going on, just to shed light on that and just to show that these things are happening. And, we are in a very delicate situation. And I think this is where groups like Shea's Young Professionals and all of the volunteer organizations at Shea's, what keeps art alive and what keeps people being able to tell their stories and share their stories so that everyone can hear them. It really relies on people who just are passionate about it and who are willing to put their time and energy and resources into it. So I think that that's just something really important to mention. We've come a long way as artists and arts communities in terms of being equitable and in terms of being accessible to people, but we still have a really long way to go. So I think it's just so important that we engage, especially young people, because that is the future of our organizations, Yeah. I think that that's a really important thing to bring up, not to be a downer on the mood, but I do just think that it just highlights how important this work really is. And I am so grateful to have initiatives like this, even though it's obviously been difficult for me, kind of navigating. And luckily I still teach and I still have all these other things that I do. That was such a passion and kind of like my dream job, So that's been tough to navigate, but being in groups like this and seeing how people who aren't even necessarily artists, how they are willing to spend their time and resources into our local arts community. It's so important. So I'm really grateful, like I said earlier, but I genuinely am really grateful that you guys are just like allowing this platform and allowing me to speak more about it. It's really meaningful to me.
Even seeing the programs here, the art education programs, because I didn't know much about theater, but I've seen them. And Brian, our CEO, talks about this. Like the first day at camp, everybody's on their phone, nobody knows each other. And then by the second day, like all these little groups form, and they're all, they didn't know each other a day ago, and they're all friends, and it builds that sense of community. And like, even like with the grant writing here for Shea's, like just educating people on the benefit that arts education and programming can have on positive mental health. And it's such a topic that needs to be spoken more about and educate people on. But I love seeing the programs here. And at Dream Girls, Buffalo, we had all these Buffalo School kids come and see it, and that was awesome. I just love that stuff. And what was the show that they got to see the dress for?
Yeah,
Outsiders. All the kids and the crew. I mean, sure, it's not programmed, but they get to see it at least, and maybe there's a spark that lights up when they see a show.
100%.
But like, I remember, didn't the Outsiders folks say like this was amazing? This was the best dress, like the energy and the kids and just
I think, Kacy, what you're kind of speaking to, I don't think it's a downer. I think it's the work is never done, and that there's just a lot of people that we're going to have to prove wrong along the way. So I think that's really badass of you. I think you're incredibly well-spoken about the subject. And folks who are listening at home who maybe are running an arts organization, if you're looking for someone to speak well on your behalf, I've got someone right here for you.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I am looking.
All right, we're going to share your LinkedIn at the end of this.
Thank you so much.
Yes, if we don't steal her first. So, Kacy, you were talking about spinning all these plates, and if there's one thing I know thespians are good at, it's spinning plates. Can you tell us like a little bit about like how do you balance all that as a performer and an educator and a volunteer? Any pro tips for folks who want to give back but have no sense of time like me?
Very carefully. Just kidding. So this is something I have to check in with myself pretty consistently about. As artists, it's very, very common for us to have multiple sources of income because that's how you typically survive as an artist. And even my situation right now, like, it's been invaluable that, yes, I lost my full-time position, but like I have my hand in other things and like teaching and performing. So that has served me really, really well in the past, and it serves a lot of artists. But I would say one of the biggest things for me, and it's a journey, and it's easier said than done, but recognizing that your identity is not 100% just being an artist or just being a teacher, because my job just happens to be my passion also. It can be very difficult to accomplish work-life balance because sometimes the work feels like your life. And I know that I feel like that quite often where whether it be teaching or performing, I sometimes just get into these cycles where it just feels like my whole life and my whole identity is just wrapped around being a voice teacher or being, if I'm in a show, like whatever I am, that role, like my whole life kind of just revolves around like that character, or around being a singer or around being a Shea's young professional. Right. Like it can be so easy when your work is what you love for it to just get so intermeshed with each other. But then when things inevitably happen, like, for example, going to an audition and not getting the role that you want, those can feel like devastating personal blows as well, because it just feels so intermingled, like work and life being like so connected to each other. In the last few years, I have really focused on the life in between. So the life that you get to live in between the shows, the life that you get to live on the weekends when you're not teaching with your students, you know? And it also makes you a better artist, which is like kind of goes against what I was talking about, like your identity is at 100% being involved in that all the time. But like living more life and spending time with friends and meeting new people and having new experiences, like that is so important as an artist. I mean, especially an artist in theater, because if you are telling other people's stories on stage and becoming multiple people, you know, different characters and stuff like that, but if you don't have that real life experience of actually like having relationships, losing people, like living just like life and experiencing those things. And I think that can be said with any career that requires a lot of your time and energy and emotion. It's just really important to remember there is life outside of that. And in fact, it makes you a better professional and a better artist if you really embrace everything that life has to offer. That was a really long-winded answer, but that's something I work through quite a bit because, you know, it can be tough. I've also worked multiple retail jobs and stuff. You know, it's really important to fully live your life and to meet people and have relationships and just fully embrace everything that life has to offer.
Yeah, I love that. I was kind of looking at Juliana throughout this because you also live a very, like, spins many a plates life with performing, and I kind of wanted to see what your take was as well.
I was going to say, I really appreciate you saying that because I remember throughout, like, my education as a performer as well, the narrative used to be, like, you have to be obsessed with this and you have to live, breathe, sweat, and bleed theater or performing or whatever, you're 24/7. But the narrative now I feel like is changing to like you have to experience life in order to portray life, and I really appreciate that. Like that's what you're doing, and that is what everyone should be embracing, and like the work-life balance. So.
Yes, less burnout, more burning bright.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. I'm going to steal that.
And you know how you can avoid burnout?
How's that, Kenny?
You can buy a calendar.
That's right. What a wonderful segue.
Thank you. That's all I had.
While we're having this wonderful...
I'm an actor.
While we're having this wonderful conversation with Kacy about, you know, volunteering and giving back in arts, yes, we also would like to sell you something, and that is a calendar. Kacy, would you mind talking a little bit about the Shea's Young Professional Calendar?
Absolutely. So it is not just your run-of-the-mill calendar. It is a beautiful calendar that has exclusive images of Shea's, historical images of Shea's. But I think the coolest part about the calendar is that every single month has a pretty extended, I guess you could call fun fact about the theater. So you're actually getting a piece of Shea's history as well. It's also the Centennial Calendar.
That's right.
Which makes it even more special. And I believe this is the first year that we're actually selling them. And we want to hopefully do it annually, depending on the turnout of it. So you could own the very, very first Shea's calendar. And it's not only the inaugural calendar, but it's also the Centennial Calendar, which only happens every 100 years, y'all. So that's kind of the bit with the Centennial thing. So
that is the bit, isn't it? Is that what it is? That's what I've been doing.
And if Kenny didn't get you one of the bricks that fell off Shea's, then
do you want a brick?
I mean, that sounds kind of cool, actually. I'm not
trade you a brick for a calendar.
Okay, I'll trade you a brick for you.
I just want to say for the record that I was the one that got those bricks.
You did.
Juliana did ask the construction guys, and they said, grab the bricks.
But we are not selling the bricks.
We're not selling the bricks.
Well,
you can talk to Kenny, and he knows the guy.
That's you ask.
But Kacy is, in fact, officially selling calendars
at
for
the
YPs
shows, right?
At Wicked.
Yes,
so I believe they're $20.
Yes, so I was actually just pulling up my poster just to make sure that. So we do have little posters at the table. We also, if you want to jump on our social media, because we'll be posting a lot about it, our Instagram is at YP Shea's. So definitely take a peek at that if you're interested in like what's coming up additionally to the calendar. But the calendar is $20. It is an extra $12 if you want to ship it, but you can of course pick it up. And I think starting at tonight's performance, fingers crossed, we will actually have the calendars. So like the last few shows, we were waiting for them to come back from the printer either today or tomorrow, I think.
I'll deliver the calendar.
And
with the brick. Attached to a brick.
Just make sure you knock and you don't send the brick through any window or anything.
Well, that's how I'm delivering. The brick's going to be thrown with the calendar.
And for anyone
it's like a paper boy.
Since this is coming out after we're recording, today is November 14th, so they should be out by the time you're hearing this.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, the calendar.
I'm thinking we have like a live studio audience or something.
I mean, Sandra's conjuring.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You're so right. I see you, Cassandra.
But so this episode is coming out. You're listening to it hopefully on November 24th, which means you have until the 30th to get that calendar. So
wait,
the pressure's on.
Is it after Wicked is gone forever? Like, is it in the Disney vault? Like where they used to do the movies and unrelease them? Remember that?
I remember that.
I do think because we do also have an email. So if you want to send an email for the order, you can send that to Shea's YP program at sheas.org. And I do think we are trying to sell them for the first week or so in December. Yeah. So it's not like an end all be all if you don't get one at the show, or if you already came to a show and didn't, like if you came through the Pearl Street entrance, then you probably wouldn't have seen me, doing the calendar. So don't fear if you have missed it at the show, or if you just like don't want to carry it around in the show, that's totally fine. You can just email that you are interested in a calendar, and we will make sure that we get your order situated. Like I said, it is $20 and then $12 additional if you want to ship it, but we're happy to keep it here for you if you want to come pick it up as well.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's great. And the YPs, this calendar, proceeds are going back to Shea's for restoration.
Yeah, everything that we do is, 100% goes towards fundraising for Shea's.
Which, thank you guys so much. Yeah. Perfect. Kacy, folks who aren't going to have a chance to meet you, which you absolutely should, stop by and meet Kacy or any of our young professionals in the Grand Lobby to buy a calendar. Before we let you go back with your life, I love to do rapid fire, and I wanted to see if you were ready.
I've never been more ready, actually.
Yes. You didn't spoil it, did you read the rapid fire questions? Is this like a secret rapid fire?
It's not too secret because I did send it to her ahead of time, but with not a lot of time ahead of time.
All right, so we'll just...
Yeah, I skimmed it.
Yeah. All right, Kacy. Classical or musical theater?
Right now, musical theater.
Ooh, soprano high note or jazz riff?
Soprano high note.
Ooh.
Obviously.
Favorite vowel to sing?
It's so funny because the E vowel used to be my arch nemesis, but now I love it. So I'm going to go with that.
For some reason, I was like, she's an E girl.
Yeah, it's just, especially as a soprano, like, it's so, like, if you can drop your jaw enough in the E, like, it just feels really good to sing high notes in that kind of dropped E.
Yeah.
Yes, pingy, ringy. Yeah. That's always what you're going for as a soprano. So yeah, absolutely.
Love it. All right. Warm up you secretly love.
I feel like I'm cheating because it's so not a secret. If you ask anyone that I've done a show in or any of my students, they will all tell you this. The lip trill.
Oh, that's so hard for me. I can't do it.
Why not the potato thing that you did? You did the potato.
It's kind of like that. So the thing with the lip trill, there's a few secrets to the lip trill. The first thing is you have to be locked in with your breath support muscles. So you have to be... Yeah, you have to breathe low and you have to engage. It's right under your sternum. A little voice lesson for everyone. Your diaphragm is right under your sternum, and it actually has 4 points of connection. It's connected to your sternum, which is in front, both sides of your rib cage, and all the way back to your spine.
Kenny's learning in real time.
And the diaphragm goes all the way from the bottom of the sternum all the way kind of like below your belly button.
Okay.
And then you got to get those ab muscles out of the way. You got to release and expand everything to get that diaphragm nice and low. And then you have to keep that release all the way through. And that is what helps propel your air and what supports your sound.
Folks, if you need a teaching artist, if there's one person that's a problem student, it's Kenny. And you just power through. It's hot.
And that breathing is also really good for people who speak publicly as well.
I speak publicly, and I've never done whatever the hell we're talking about. What's this thing? The lip thing?
Breathing.
A lip
Why do I breathe?
the lip trill. So the lip trill, I also feel vindicated because I think Sabrina Carpenter said that it was her favorite warm-up too. And I was just like, oh my God, I feel... Because I am so annoying about it. I feel like I have to always keep my voice warm if I'm backstage or something. But like you're backstage, and a lot of I do a lot of things with like smaller like local theaters and stuff like that. So there's typically not like a lot of space or like designated dressing rooms or anything fancy like we have at Shea's here, obviously. So like you kind of just have to make do with the space that you have. So the lip trill, it's so like soft.
So good.
You can do that backstage without anyone. You can do that like really close to the stage door, honestly, and they won't be able like to hear you.
So I can do this at my desk all day now?
I mean,
Upstairs.
go for it.
It's Kacy.
my favorite thing. And another like pro tip, if you have trouble with lip trills but want to get the benefits from them,
yes,
if you put your 2 pointer fingers in the corners of your mouth and kind of just press.
I'm making myself smile.
Okay.
Yeah, you kind of have to relax all the face muscles.
That's not it, Rita. That's not it.
I know it's not.
Real corn. Yeah, like real
This is when I wish we had video.
And then,
if there's ever been a reason to have video, this is it. This segment right here.
This is good.
That turned from rapid fire into the lip thing. Whatever the hell this is called. The lip drill.
what's really funny to me too is like, you guys can't see this, but Rita is like taking her fingers and like pulling her face back.
Yeah, you gotta
going.
I officially petition that we need to record.
This is the social media segment.
You're saying I'm doing it wrong. Is what you're saying.
You're stretching your face, which is the opposite.
She was trying to force herself to smile through that, which is kind of sad right now.
So you kind of have to
Smile is the enemy of the lip trill.
Yes, you have to keep your face muscles completely relaxed, and then if you keep your fingers at the corners of your mouth, that should help as well. So, little pro tip if you have trouble with that warm up. You know.
This rapid
We'll
fire
work on it after. We'll work on it after.
say,
Don't worry.
Rapid fire, everyone.
I'm smiling too much. Okay.
We're done.
No, we're never done. Okay. Teaching or performing?
This directly relates to if I'm in a show or not. If I'm in a show, I would say performing, but then when I'm done with the show, I'm exhausted, so I would say teaching.
You're gonna go back.
So right now, I just finished a show, so I'm like really enjoying not being in the show and teaching right now. So
Who were you in?
I was in Heathers. I was Miss Fleming.
Yes.
Oh, okay, that was okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it was a lot of fun.
No, was that at
How about
Spotlight?
the heck? Why didn't you see it?
Juliana goes everything.
I know.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like say that.
I actually
I'm
like.
sorry.
I've been back behind on my like theater going
So
experiences.
it was with Teals Niagara Theater, which they actually this was their very first professional adult show that they've done. They usually do youth theater.
Wait, so do you know Jeremy? This is off the hood.
Yes, Jeremy was our director. He's amazing.
Jeremy on a few shows.
Yeah, he's the best. Everyone that was part of that, I'm obsessed with that cast. Like, we had such a good time. It was at the Niagara Arts and Cultural Center, and it was in that beautiful, it's a woodbox theater, so it's an old library, and it just was a really cool experience.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I saw photos. I couldn't make it out, but it looked fantastic.
Thanks,
Guys,
fun.
I love Heather's. Sondheim lyrics or jazz improvisation?
I do love Sondheim. Jazz improvisation is so much fun.
Joanna or Mrs. Fleming? Who was more fun?
This is so hard. So I'm going to kind of cheat. I'm going to say I liked singing Joanna better.
That's fair.
But the acting and the character was so much fun for Miss Fleming. Like, she's just crazy and ridiculous. And
you get to shout at someone every night.
Yeah, I got to do a whole little improv thing, which was my favorite thing. I was so afraid of it because I had never done anything like that before in my life. Like, I've never done improv. I'm very much like a preparer and a practicer. Like, originally I was trained in opera, so like that role was so different for me on so many levels. But the little, if anyone knows Heather's, like, Miss Fleming does this whole improvisation with a random person in the audience whose name's Steve. Yeah. And it's one of the funniest parts of the show, and it's the thing I was the most afraid of actually doing the show. It was the thing I was the most excited to do every night. And the cast got so involved. I had so many people who were like, this person's sitting in the front row. Can they be Steve? Like, every single night they would get so into it. They'd be like, what are you going to do? And I like challenged myself that I wanted to do something different every single time. Like, every single show I wanted to do something a little bit different. Like, I didn't want to just reuse the same kind of bit every time.
Yeah.
And I did manage to do that. I think we had like 8 shows total.
Nice.
And I managed to do something a little different. And we had a few Stacys. Just saying.
Mrs. Fleming.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, so my headcanon, I mean, she talked about free love in the 60s. So I was like she's
Austin
definitely bi. Like,
Nice. That's good. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
3 words that describe your teaching style.
Empathetic, empowering, and flexible.
Yes. We love that. Kacy.
Good way to wrap it up.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time.
Yes.
I've learned a lot today.
I learned a ton.
Folks, if you want to get to know Kacy, as well as our other lovely young professionals, they have their amazing Instagram page. You can come see them in the grand lobby. They're selling calendars. Thank you, Kacy.
Thank you. This is so much fun.
You were a blast. Thank you so much. And all right, friends, I got some campus shout-outs for you. You ready? Musical Fair's production of Irving Berlin's White Christmas will be at Shea's 710 from December 4th through the 21st. The Nutcracker, a holiday tradition presented by Shea's, the BPO, and Neglia Ballet will have performances December 5th through the 7th, and we'll have a very special episode on December 1st to interview a member of the cast. And finally, the Shea's free film series is back on Friday, December 12th with a 7 p.m. showing of one of my favorite holiday films, and that is Elf. All right. Thank you guys for joining us this week at Cast Party. We hope you enjoyed the vibes, got some exciting tea, and we will see you at rehearsal. Until then, Ken, why don't you play us out? So good. Cast Party is presented by Shea's Performing Arts Center.
Produced by Cassandra Lippert, Ken Lazewski, myself, Juliana Tracy, and Rita Sirianni.
Theme song by John Michael Ogletree.
Audio mixing by Dave Lenhart.
Logo and graphics designed by Acacia Crozier.
Marketing and social media by Bridget Neeson.
Please rate, review, and subscribe to Shea's Performing Arts Center presents Cast Party, wherever exceptional podcasts are downloaded.
Or visit us at shays.org.
Bye-bye.